Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Cheers.
Got a big
Boys?
big crew today.
Hell yeah.
I mean, there's 4 of us, not just weight-wise.
That's right.
So, first things last, just like always, I'm going to start with the humble brag.
Yes.
The humble brag this week is, last week, I was talking about some outside-the-box shit we could do. I went with sign Robbie Ross, even though he just had back surgery last year. And Rick Hahn listens. So he watches this, he listens to what
Yes,
I
he
say.
does.
And he heard me say Robbie Ross, he went out and got him. So that's the first part of it. The second part is, you know, when there's handsome guys like us talking baseball. I mean, we're fucking gorgeous.
Of course.
When we're talking baseball, you know, a guy like Billy Bean is going to be watching. And so he went and got Jonathan Lucroy underneath.
He
Rick
stole
Hahn's-
it.
Took
Rick
it underneath,
Hahn's-
right underneath
yeah.
there.
It was awful. So, and for what 64 cents a year or something, it was a good deal. So, unfortunately, we didn't get him, but it was a good call nonetheless that someone should sign him immediately. So, before we get into anything else, I want to start talking about the prediction show we're going to be doing at Baderbrau next Friday, 7 p.m. I'll let Beefloaf talk about exactly what that is.
Okay, so it's going to be us drinking a bunch of beers, eating a bunch of delicious food at Baderbrau, which is located at 2515 South Wabash. And then we're going to be giving you White Sox predictions. Now, everyone does their predictions. They put their predictions out. This is not like everyone else's predictions. This is not win-loss or other bullshit like that. We're going to give you bold predictions, things that you might not be thinking about. And some of it will relate to the White Sox directly. Some of it will relate to some other fun stuff. So we've got lists, and we're going to throw some of that stuff out there. We want to welcome all of you to come out and hang out. If we end up with a little time at the end, maybe we'll throw some of the participants in there for a bold prediction or two.
Like we're gonna have any time. My big prediction might be the over/under number on how many nights Wally is gonna spend in his van outside.
I set the line at 2.5.
Tonight is night 1.
No, it only counts during the season.
Oh, okay.
It's only during the
Okay.
season
Okay.
counts. Yeah, that's right.
Like, where Wally money, Big Sexy, 76, will he get stuck here because he had too much Bacardi? And they steal him, his hand right in the pocket of Mr. Reinsdorf while he's sitting there taking out right in the pocket.
Yeah.
With my free pop. My designated driver free pop.
Free shot of pop.
Yeah, they would have made
Shot of pop.
it. Yeah, right.
You gotta stack them. You gotta stack
Yeah.
everything that thought.
Yeah, right.
So we've been talking, we've been mentioning.
So just a reminder, that is Friday night.
Right, this
Friday
March
night.
16th.
Friday night.
Friday
We
night.
forget
Day
today.
before St. Patty's Day.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's
Exactly
16.
right.
We don't go out for St. Patty's Day because that's fucking amateur hour. So we're
That's
gonna
right.
get drunk the night
We're the
before.
pregame.
Come
We're the
get drunk the night
appetizer.
before.
It's a 2-day festival.
It is the 2-day festival for the 108ers. That's right.
Especially all you Irish guys.
That's right.
We're from Southern Ireland.
Dark Irish. That's us.
So hey, we've referenced him a few times. I would like to introduce Cash Considerations himself.
Yes.
Sir Walter of House Bang Bus.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks
Hello,
for coming by
everyone.
today.
Thanks for having me.
We've got a couple questions for you.
Oh, shit.
So first, now I should know this, but you know I drink, so I don't remember things. How did you meet us?
That's a great story.
Good origin story.
Bobble Jim, season tickets are behind mine. We're both season ticket holders, and he's the one that turned me on to some bobbleheads. And then there was a bobble that I needed, and ironically enough, guy right here, My Sock Summer, hustled me.
You charge a double.
And then he feels like, he's like, oh, I'll cut you a deal. And then I'm like, do you have change for 100? You know, I pulled this straight out of, I'm going to get you sucker line.
You just wanted one rib.
Pour it in the hand. I don't need the box. And it just came from there. And that was 2, maybe 3 years ago now.
Yeah, because we went to one of the season ticket holder parties.
Right.
The first time that
yeah.
you came out. 'Cause
That's
you
right.
had-
I first met
You
you
had
guys.
tickets,
Okay, yeah.
and I went and I brought you guys, and that's where you made the infamous bet with Darren.
That still has not paid. I am hoping he is there tonight.
Now the truth comes out why you actually wanted to go to
No.
WL.
I'm gonna
As
guess.
long as the shakedown, Darren.
I'm gonna guess we don't see him.
If not, I will see him him at the official 108 opening day party.
That's right. That's a good spot
you
to find
came
him.
right to the opening day party after that event, and that's how it went. Yeah.
Now, as we mentioned before, the opening day party, that's friends only. That's not
Yes.
Not widely open to everybody. So,
But we'll have some other stuff during the year that we'll
For sure.
definitely get together.
Baderbrau's
There's
throwing
some.
something
There's
for
going to be
opening
some. They're doing an opening day, and then we'll be doing some Baderbrau things throughout the year. So stay tuned for all of that.
going out to tailgates, we got a little something working with Sox on 35th. Our boys there, we might do some tailgatage with them too. So,
Next question for you there, Wally Money. You have we don't go to Sox Fest, me and Beef Loaf, right?
Okay.
We usually hang out here in the Beef Cave, you know, and it's a.
I can smell the beef cake.
And it's delicious, but it's pungent.
my essence is everywhere. Enjoy, breathe it in if you can, my Sox summer. Breathe it in.
So you go to Sox Fest with this guy.
I do.
Right? It's
Yes.
like, give us a little bit of a glimpse of what my Sox summer is like at Sox Fest. I assume he's like the guys that try and wash your windows when you're driving on the street.
No,
But
no,
give us the lowdown.
No.
We have that guy.
No, but yeah.
Sign
No, actually, for the fanboys like my Sox Summer and myself, and as well as Bob Jim, we've been going now for 3 years now.
3 years. Yep.
We've been going together. We do the whole weekend package. If you're an autograph guy, it's a great place to go. That's where I get majority of my stuff autographed. But if you need to do the whole weekend. Don't do just 1 or 2 days because they will fuck you in the lines if you do not go for the all weekend. And we usually do better with the guys going through the hotels, the players walking through the hotels, or if not, they got a social lounge.
yeah.
But it's a great time. It's a good time to see. It's a great time. It's usually always the weekend before Super Bowl, so there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good drinking.
So you
going
don't
on.
like the Pro Bowl, is what you're telling me?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
I'm a huge Pro Bowl
Not
fan. You know,
as much as others.
I always tune in. So.
I don't. I do not. But it is a great time to see faces you haven't seen all season, and it's always predominantly, at least the first 100 people, it's all the same guys.
Nice.
It's the usual faces you see all the time. So there's a great White Sox kinship. There is it's great to get excited about baseball in the middle of January, almost February. It's a great time. It's fun. I learned after the first time I went with these guys not to drink too much on a Friday night. I did sleep on the bathroom floor. It was a Saturday night. That's
a pro play when you've had too much to drink.
Because
Sleep on the bathroom
Bob
floor.
Jim did have a photo of me sitting in there waiting for an autograph on a chair, looking like I was passed out.
Yeah, I think that's out there on the internet somewhere.
So, one last thing, I think everyone wants to know. They don't know they want to know it yet.
Okay.
But tell us about your Mark Parent jersey.
Yes.
So I've got a 1 of 1. It is a Memorial Day game used Mark Parent jersey. Size, I want to say it was a 54, 56.
Oh, boy.
It's one of the larger ones.
That's big for me.
Yes, it's a big
And
jersey.
Coop's only a 54. It has to be
Yes.
like a 52, 53.
No, it's
bigger than that?
It's a 54. Yeah, I will wear it a couple times this season at the games. If you guys come out to the 108, one of the Friday nights, I'll make sure I have it on.
You could wear it opening day because you could wear a parka underneath it.
Now, I don't want to pry into your wallet too much, but how much? Just give us the range of what a Mark Parent game used jersey is.
I looked it up just to
The value. Yeah.
correct. So where I got it was they have an auction at every game. The White Sox have an auction behind home plate. White Sox charities support them, and I had a little bit too many pops, I guess is the best way to put it.
I don't believe it.
My free pops.
Free pops.
I had free pops.
The blood sugar spiked, and
Right.
who knows what's going to happen.
Maybe a little accelerator in it. I don't know.
Accelerator, that's right. Hell yeah.
But I got into a bidding war with another Mexican. So there was a Mexican standoff, and it basically
The only thing would have been worse if it was Puerto Rican. Then you would have emptied your net worth.
He was Latino. I'm Mexican, so I may be profiling here. It could have been a Puerto Rican. I don't
We
know.
all look alike. Everyone knows.
Right. You know, I mean, he wasn't Dominican or Cuban. Now, that I can guarantee. But
Welcome to the racial insensitivity.
But we got into a bidding war, and I actually paid the highest for any jersey they have ever seen so far at a game at $450
For Mark Parent.
No. A game used.
Game used.
Mark
There's a
Parent.
game used.
You should get Mark Parent for that price.
I was going to get him to autograph this. I was hoping to get him to autograph it. I did talk with the White Sox charities and said, you can probably afford a game. He would love to sign it. After they find out how much you paid for it, he would love that. That's when he was backstabbing Robin, and they fired his ass right before I was able to get it autographed. So, Mark Parent, if you are out there...
he's definitely watching.
Well, he can probably
Every
use
White Sox
right
fan.
now. He can probably use the fucking money you spent on that, man. I don't get it. You guys probably living on scraps. He can use that
He's
money
gonna hit
on our
up
parent jersey.
Get at us at BigSexy_75 with an address. I will mail it to you. You know, self-addressed envelope. For you to mail it back. If I need to make a donation to your favorite charity, granted it's the Mark Parent Foundation, whatever it is, I would love to get it autographed.
It's gonna be like Tommy and Goodfellas. You're 10,000 I charge. All right. On to some Twitter questions. We got a couple Twitter questions today. The first one is from Muzzkill7, and it is: will the Browns or the Sox make the playoffs first? Browns. I'm going to go with the Browns. I think the moves that they've made yesterday were fine, but I just feel like the NFL, you could turn a team around really quick. They have like 14 first-round picks this year. If they don't get to the playoffs in 2018, they should just fold. So
are they going to re-sign Johnny Manziel since he says he's going to play for free now?
maybe for a free contract they might give him a flyer.
I don't know if they want to pay for cover the insurance, though.
You don't want to pay for that insurance. So, Wally, what do you think? Browns or Sox?
I'm actually going to go with White Sox.
All right. How quick are the Sox in the playoffs?
2 years.
2 years?
Beefy loaf.
I'm gonna also go with the Browns because the Browns are having the draft like the 1990 or 91 Dallas Cowboys had, where they had all the picks and they reseeded the whole team, and then they did that quick turnaround and won 3 titles in a row. So I don't think the Browns are going to win 3 titles in a row. Don't put those words in my mouth, but I think weak division, and then they'll make a little comeback here and they'll be in the playoffs.
But if they want
very soon.
the cocaine level of the 90s Cowboys, that they need Manziel.
Well,
He's holding it.
so no.
Are the Browns in the NL or the AL? I don't know. When do they join?
Thank you for your contribution.
Why are we even talking about this?
I'll kick it to you first on the next question, which is from Sox on 35th. They saw all the injuries that are going on with the White Sox, and they said, how is the health of the 108? I would tell you that there is a 108 member in the hospital right now, so that's
sure.
not a good start.
Absolutely.
But we're thinking about him, and I hope he's watching this. Actually, I hope he's not. It's probably this would be a horrible thing to watch while you're in the
Get better.
hospital.
Watch some porn.
Yeah, but
Whoa, no, not yet.
yeah.
No,
That's
true.
So
Heart rate.
issue, brother.
Sorry, John.
To Johnny Love, we're thinking about you, buddy. We hope
Yeah,
you're doing
brother,
better.
cheers.
And to our own health, I don't know. I look terrible, but I've drank quite a bit in the past week. Me and the wife went out last night. We got like 600 drinks in us, and so I think I'm in like mid-season form right now. So we'll see how the NWI thing goes today, and I'll let you guys know if I truly am. My sex summer, how's the health over here?
Drinking wise, definitely mid-season form.
You're already stumbling over words. So
Mid-season
He's
form.
mid-game form right now.
We had two Saturdays in a row that I'm pretty sure I blacked out at your house.
There's no doubt. The last 2 Saturday soaks, we just went way off the rails.
It's been insane. I have been, health-wise, not eating a lot of meat, very little meat. I don't want to say vegan because people don't like to hear that, so plant-based diet. And been riding the exercise bike 5 days a week and doing some curls because I was looking a little flabby. When I looked at my arms and they looked like your guys' arms, I was like, uh-oh.
Side swipe. Shut the fuck up. You're done. Beef loaf.
I mean, first off, how dare you? All right, Teresa E and I are specimens, and yes, you should be looking up at us in the spectrum of good-looking body. All right. I will say this.
I look at you in other ways.
From drinking perspective, we are in mid-season form. We've been working it out the last month. We've done a bunch of stuff, outings. Yeah, since the meetup, everything's rolling as far as the. So we'll be ready for opening day. We're all ready for that. Personally, I mean, I have a chronic illness. I have asthma, but it's not bothering me any more than it normally does. And Teresa and I are both down in weight.
Maybe don't have fucking 25 cats then. You know?
All
right,
that's probably not it.
Wally Money, have you been working out in the bang bus? How's your ab workouts going?
Ab workout
thrusting.
Unlike you guys, I do not take it. There's no off season for my drinking.
No rest for the wicked.
I just continue. I play, winter ball.
You go down to Dominican Winter League.
I don't take off. I like to stay in drinking shape form all year round.
That's poetic.
As far as I actually had a physical a couple months, surprisingly, I'm in great, healthy shape. Cholesterol is great. Need to lose some weight. I think I put on a little bit of the weight you guys lost. But otherwise, the doctor says just keep doing what you're doing. He actually recommended I drink more.
So drink more what?
Can you give me
Milk?
your doctor's number?
Well, because when I, you guys know when I drink a little to excess. Either I drink or I don't. He said it's better for me to drink every day 3 to 4 drinks than drinking every weekend
16 drinks
so I
on
don't
one day.
remember. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So he
That's nice of that doctor.
you know what? Actually, his name is Dr. Michael Myers. True story.
See, my doctor tells me the same thing, but it's actually not a doctor. It's just Nathan at Baderbrau.
Absolutely.
But if you do want to lose some weight, I've got an easy tip for you. Take 2 or 3 or 4 pounds of the shit you put in your hair out of your hair. It'll be way lighter.
This product is comes from Guadalajara, so it just beads off the Mexican hair. It's like lightweight.
It's mostly drugs.
You can smoke him. We can smoke while he's here.
All right, we need you to get out your phone,
Yep.
the one that I just knocked down on the ground, and give us a time limit. We're going to talk about Moose. Thank you, God. This is the last time
finally
we
over.
have to talk about Moose
Yes.
until next year. So,
Definitely.
Mustaka's
All right, you ready?
signed- Yeah.
All right.
5 minutes. We only want 5 minutes.
Shit.
Go.
All right, Mustaka signed yesterday or the day before. Who the fuck
Yeah,
cares?
actually, the contracts will be final today.
Okay.
Yes.
Pending a physical?
That's right. The physical's already taken.
Don't they
It's
already
according
know
to
him?
Twitter.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm
Hey,
interrupting.
they're doing some
No,
other stuff
no,
with
this
it.
is fine. This is part of the 5 minutes.
So I will kick it to Beefloaf so he can go on whatever diatribe he wants to go on about Moose.
Okay, so we've said this in several different videos that we've done on Twitter. We're not really Moose fans, but at some point, somebody becomes valuable. This is like an old gambling adage. At some point, you would take the other side of the bet when the price changes enough. Moose was so goddamn cheap, and I know there were people out there saying hometown discount. I'm not even so sure about that. There was a little report today that came out that said the Angels offered him $3.45. Turned out to be total bullshit. So the White Sox probably could have had him for a very cheap deal. They have a big wide open hole at third. I'm not proposing Moose especially. I'm just saying you're going to put generic major league player at third base. The response from the White Sox fan base was absolutely ridiculous. You would think that Moose was a child molester, how much they did not want him on the team. You would think he slit a kid's throat on national television, the way people hate this guy. He's just a guy. He's flawed. He's not that great of a player, but he would improve the White Sox. That's all there is. And it would have been for a cheap price. I know some of you don't like him and you wouldn't want him. And you see visions of like the bad Adam Dunn years, which were basically all of his years, and then the bad Adam LaRoche year. It's not exactly the same thing. And for those of you out there that are saying that Matt Davidson is just like Moose, he's not. He's never been anywhere near as good as Moose. Maybe he'll become as good as Moose. That would be great. It would be nice to
The
have
problem is
something
he can't
like
really play third base.
He can't play third base. He strikes out 36% of the time. Those are both big problems to become like Moose. So that's all I gotta say about Moose. Let's, fuck him. I don't care about him. I'm just more worried about White Sox fans not realizing not all the prospects make it.
So we
We have to fill in some ugly pieces.
That was 2 fucking minutes.
I've
Just
only
that.
got like
That
30
was 2
seconds.
minutes.
So I'm just going to go real quick. I don't care about Moose. I'm disappointed he didn't go to the Orioles like I said he should. They have a fucking statue of that guy in Camden Yards. They get rid of the Cal Ripken one and put Moose in his place. He's just a perfect Orioles garbage player. But and Moose, the one thing that like I know you've continually said, and I agree for the most part, but one thing you should talk about is the fact that Moose was not really very good for most of his career, right? Like this is a new, like the 38 home runs is an anomaly. He's never done that before. He's usually in the 20s, but in the 20s is in the 30s in our park, right? So that's, keep that in mind when you say that Davidson has more power.
And don't just focus on the home run number either. In 2015, he was a 4.5 win player. I mean, he was very good on defense.
Yeah.
Yes, he's had one bad defensive year, but let's measure this stuff all right.
The other thing is that he's only 2 years older than Matt Davidson. It's not like some huge age difference where he's like way over the hill and Matt Davidson's this young 23-year-old buck coming up. Davidson's 27 in a few days, and then Moustakas is 29, right? So that's the thing. But the biggest problem I've had with all of this is how much people love the second round pick. Like, I mean,
they would lose.
I mean, I know Alec Hansen was a second round pick like a couple years ago, right? But until Alec Hansen is a pitcher in the major leagues that performs well, he's fucking Lance Broadway, all right? He's Aaron Pineda. He's another one of our second round picks that you probably remember being the next guy that was going to be in the rotation, Eric Johnson. Chris Beck.
I do have an autographed ball of Eric Johnson. From Sox Fest.
Let me throw a few names out of here and let me know which one
let
of
me
these...
check the internet for the pricing on that.
Which one of these guys would be
not worth the price of a ball?
Which one of these guys would be absolutely off limits for you to trade for a starting third baseman? Jake Petrichka, Eric Johnson, Chris Beck, Spencer Adams. Anyone? Any of those guys off limits?
None of them.
For a starting third baseman. Okay, let's stop talking about the fucking second round pick. Like you get Chris Sale with it every year. All right, now that
Chris Sale was a second round.
Did we
he's
make
a
it?
first round pick. He's a first round.
First next summer, we make it?
Oh, we made it. Yeah,
Mark,
4.5.
Mark Furley was
We didn't
a
talk,
38th round.
but that's all right.
I don't think you
was
guys
gonna say
had
you
anything to say.
I was just going to say you could extend it, but like by a minute. But the only thing I had an input on there is that Dirty MF would lose her shit if Davidson was jettisoned for Mike Moustakas. Because I don't think Mike Moustakas has that cachet.
Well, here's the thing.
that
No,
she's
no,
looking
he's
for.
not
That hair, that
that
Whoa. No. See, this would work out perfect for her, right? Because no one's going to pick up Davidson, right? I mean, like, where's Chris Carter playing?
So we're going to have
Right?
3, if not 4, third
So
basemen on our roster?
you get Jettison Davidson. He's working for Potbellies. Sexually harassing the shit out of him there.
Right.
Perfect.
Selling the shit out of those dream bars and those fucking brownies that keep right there at the front.
You'll be making the bread.
I want to switch gears way to a different topic now. We're going to go over to... They just released some bobbleheads, and I know you guys fucking love bobbleheads. I love bobbleheads. I don't have any, but I love them.
She.
Oh, yeah, I do have one. I don't have that one.
This
You have Cheech and Chong.
I have Cheech and Chong
This is actually
bobbleheads.
Biggins' bobblehead that he left here like 3 years ago that you got from him. Look at it.
Look at his head.
No.
It looks like Biggins' head.
All right, so I would blame Bonita Stakey, but we took it out of the
No,
box,
it was
and
probably
its head was like this already.
Yeah.
It was in my garage for 2 years. I'm not giving it back to him. I say one day we'll smash this in the middle of my street.
No!
For now, we're going to
Oh,
put
I
it
love
right
it.
here.
I love it.
No, we can sell it.
With the bent head like that?
Check
You got the quick
the
hits.
head away.
So two new bobbleheads released this week.
2 new.
Right? Or
3.
There's a 3?
There's 2, but there's one special edition and there's 2.
I only want to talk about 2 of them, so I'm saying there is 2 released this week. Just 2.
You don't like Father Christmas?
I don't know what that is.
Father Christmas.
So
Santa
fir-
Claus?
First,
Santa Claus.
please. So the first one is the Jim Tomey one. So
Yeah.
let me get your thoughts. He's got a lot of thoughts on this. Let me get your thoughts first on the Jim Tomey bobblehead.
This is... Now, My Sox Summers knows more. Yes, it says this is his 3rd bobblehead. They just came out with one... Not
Last
this Sox
fucking
Fest,
year.
last Sox Fest. So, I mean, I'm glad he's in. Tomey's one of the most nicest class act guys you could... I've never heard anybody ever say anything bad about him.
Oh, I have. I said he did steroids. So
And actually, I'm with you. I think he did steroids, but he's still a nice guy.
let me preface that with I am pro steroid. Like, I want everyone on steroids in the MLB. I want huge fucking monsters hitting 1 million home runs.
Me too. Count me in.
That's the game I want.
I want them. I want them on greenies and steroids.
I'll be on greenies in the.
But my only thing is, I understand he's from Joliet, so he's like a hometown, fan.
Peoria, right?
Peoria.
Oh, no, I'm sorry,
Peoria.
Peoria.
Jesus Christ.
No,
You're right.
not a big difference.
But-
Not a big
Actually,
difference.
it doesn't matter.
But he did.
That's a huge difference.
It is. But
Hey, Sterling, take it easy.
didn't he grow up a Cubs fan? I think
I don't
on
know.
record, I thought I saw somewhere where he said he grew up a Cubs fan from Peoria. He played 5 years with us.
Right.
He's going in as an Indian, as he should. I mean, his best years with the Indian.
For sure.
Father's not that.
It's not like the White Sox are going to sit there and retire his number, but to have a bobblehead of him for the Hall of Fame when he's going in as an Indian, I don't know. They did a great thing with Tim Raines last year, where they had the double statue with him with Montreal and the White Sox. I thought that was fantastic.
Because nobody's making a bobblehead of Tim Raines.
True.
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
Montreal is like...
Yeah, it's over.
Right.
That's
Right.
I mean, Montreal itself still exists.
Yeah, no, I know.
Olympic Stadium is still there.
Great strip clubs, I hear.
Solid gold.
That's the rule.
Yeah.
Not that the 108ers would attend a strip
Oh,
club.
I don't.
well,
Never.
I don't go to those places.
in my younger years.
But yeah, I mean, like the Expos aren't there. I mean, the Nationals aren't going to do a Tim Raines
No.
bobblehead, right?
Right.
Let's hear your thoughts.
So here's my problem, or this is what I don't like about this whole deal. I like Jim Thome. I like that Jim Thome has had bobbleheads from the White Sox in the past. But how many other teams, like Frank Thomas, let's just use Frank Thomas as an example. When Frank Thomas got elected in the Hall of Fame, did anybody else make a Frank Thomas Hall of Fame bobblehead? Did Toronto make one? Did fucking Oakland? They did not make up a Hall of Fame one. They did it for La Russa, which I can totally understand on both accounts. A manager, I can totally understand. Thome, he's a fucking Indian, for Christ's sake. And they're giving it away on an Indians game, which makes it even worse.
6 o'clock Saturday night game.
It's just like, my head hurts even thinking about this, because we're going to be down here early. These guys are going to be wasted and
Breezy and I will be drinking beer.
Down there at noon.
You won't be here.
Up on the beef
Oh, no, I'll be
patio.
wasted, yeah.
We'll be on the beef patio.
By
Yeah,
noon-
you guys will be drinking. We'll be standing
By
in
noon,
line.
we'll be there waiting for a bobblehead.
No, we'll be there at noon. That's insane.
But
We-
on the
people
same
by
token,
4.
now, I get the box mail to me at the end of the season.
That's
So
true.
it's-
Yes. No, I just don't. I don't like that they've done the third one.
This
There's no originality.
This is not a bobblehead question, but a Jim Thome question I want to pose to Beeflo.
Let's go, baby. Bring it.
Hindsight's 2020, right?
It sure is.
We traded Aaron Rowan and Gio Gonzalez. He was the player to be named later in the Jim Thome trade.
Yep.
And we got rid of Frank Thomas. So Frank Thomas, didn't hit his 500th in a Sox jersey. If you could go back, knowing what you know now about Brian Anderson, about Aaron Rowan, about everyone involved, would you still trade for Jim Thome?
I absolutely would not. And at the time when the trade happened, I thought it was a good trade. Obviously, Aaron Rowan, good player. I mean, but Aaron Rowan was a superstar on that team. I mean, he was a 5-win player at that point. He was a great defender in the outfield, one of the best in baseball. He was a positive hitter as well. In hindsight, you wouldn't do it. You were making a bet that Brian Anderson could be at least as good a defender, even if the bat didn't hold, and that Frank Thomas was finished. And both of those were absolutely wrong. You didn't follow through on either of them. The bat plunged his defensive value for Brian Anderson, and Frank went on to the A's and he hit 40 homers the next year. So, yeah, it was a huge mistake.
I was thinking about it, and I was thinking to myself, man, what if we didn't make that trade? The blackout game, you missed the Thome home run and you missed the Brian Anderson catch, and then I thought, yeah, but we would have been up 5 or 6 games already. And
it wouldn't matter.
And we would have went to the playoffs in 06 because, maybe not, because part of the 06 collapse was the pitching. The pitching was horrendous in the second half. So maybe it wouldn't have mattered for that 1 year. But, yeah, I think in hindsight, you don't make that trade. It sounded good at the time. It sounded like you had this young top prospect that was going to fill into the spot. It sucks that you got to give up a guy as good as Aaron Rowan, but you were getting Jim Thome back.
Who got screwed in 05 for the Golden Glove, where Torrey Hunter wins that year, who's out for half the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was some
Terrible.
bullshit, but...
I hadn't even thought of that. I'm glad you still have that pent-up rage. I love it. One more bobblehead to talk about. I am a huge fucking Star Wars fan. My wife is as well.
She dressed up like
Cornsey
Red
dressed up
last
as
year.
She
Ray.
did.
Ray.
I dressed up as MC Ren. She was Ray. Yeah, and
She looked good too. Not saying, just saying.
I don't care if you say my wife was good. I think she looks good. Hey, cheers! Cheersing over here.
We were trying to be low key and
You turn your head for a second.
And you know who started the cheers?
Well, hey,
It's resident big, sexy 76.
I always buffer any women that I care about from Wild. Just say that shit ain't gonna be anything new. So the Sox decided to do. I mean, Solo's coming out this summer. I'll be there like opening night.
Mm-hmm.
Solo.
The movie.
Yeah, you know Han Solo?
Oh,
You know
yeah.
this motherfucker? You know who Harrison Ford is?
Is that what it's in? Okay. It makes sense
They
now.
haven't done a
Go
Harrison
ahead.
Ford bobblehead, so you don't know who he is. So they're doing a Hawk Solo bobblehead.
Which is
To
looks
me,
awesome.
this looks okay. Well, I had a different opinion. This looks like the stupidest shit I've ever seen. But I want to hear the Bobble Guy's thoughts on this. It's one of the, I think it's the 40th or 60th Hawk bobblehead the Sox have done. So let's get some opinions here.
It's a third.
Okay.
So I should not have put it there. No, it's more my fault than it is yours. The problem with the Sox is they hit something and it works well, so they like, you know what? We're gonna redo this. We're gonna do it again and again and again and fucking again. So, which is why we're gonna see another White Sox
you know
soccer
what?
jersey.
That sounds like Craig Mack when all the times he remixed Flavor in Year.
Yeah.
I mean, he had one hit song and then he remixed it 74 times.
It's the
That's what the Sox are
same
doing.
shit over and over. We're getting another. We're actually not getting a Hawaiian shirt this year. We're getting a Hawaiian hat this year.
That shit was stupid too.
Well, I mean, but still. But the point is it worked, and that's what people came out. They're like, "Ooh, holy shit! It's a Hawaiian shirt." I see them 100 times when I go out to thrift stores. They're in a fucking rack, and they sell them for like $8. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding
I
me.
can
It's
dig
$6
the
for
Hawaiian
$3.
shirt. The Hawaiian, like the floppy Hawaiian hat.
You don't like the hat?
That is like go to fucking Trader
That's
Tops.
North
We don't want you.
That's Northside shit.
That is Northside shit. But anyway, so they continually do stuff that sells. So we had a talking clock that went bananas last year. People went bananas.
It almost killed that guy we saw laying in the
right.
street.
That's
Right.
true.
He's dead.
Nobody stole his clock.
That's
So
the surgeon. You assume he's the surgeon.
He was a brain surgeon. Yeah, he got up from there and went and performed
So
surgery.
then they do for Sox Fest. They're like, hey, we usually do a bobblehead, but you know what? Let's make it a talking bobblehead because the talking clock works so well. Let's make a talking bobblehead, and that did remotely well.
But
I'm
the
sure
Bulls have
people
done
said-
talking bobbleheads.
Yes, Stacey King.
Stacey King.
Yep.
Yes.
The Sox had never done a talking bobblehead before that one. But then we're like, okay, it's Hawks last year. What can we do to like make it?
Being on the cover of the media guide wasn't enough.
No. Gotta have that. Gotta have everything Sox related, everything Hawk related. Let's make a Hawk
He's broadcasting
Star
what,
Wars bobblehead.
4 games this year?
He's doing 20.
Okay.
But apparently Paul Konerko is interested in doing a game with Hawk.
That would be great.
As well as AJ. I think AJ already said AJ's already signed up for one.
And I will propose it right now. Hawk, feel free for an away game to just come
Right
here
here.
to the Beef Cave
Right here.
and watch a game with us.
Or meet us at Baderbrau.
We
Come
will send a
come to
helicopter.
the Beef Cave. No, either one.
What's an helicopter?
No, Hawk lives in Indiana. We might have to go towards
We drive
Indiana.
there.
I'll drive to South.
Drive
He's like South Bend.
Yeah,
that's a bang
South
bus.
Bend.
How the fuck could I be above driving to go hang out with Hawk? I'd fucking bicycle out there.
Hawk, you name a
I don't
time
have
and
a bike.
place, we will be there. The 4 of us will show up.
Absolutely.
The only thing that I've heard on the internet that was a negative against the Hawk solo bobblehead
Was on
is that-
Reddit?
No, it wasn't on Reddit. It was in our bobble group. He was holding a microphone that's an old school microphone.
Okay.
Okay, and it looks like Hawk almost looks like he's in an Elvis pose. So it looked almost like an Elvis bobblehead, and then it was a Han Solo.
They just
So-
think that it was an Elvis bobblehead previously and it just got repurposed.
I don't really know,
So
but it's just
Here's-
it
That
looks
sounds
weird
so White
with that.
Sox. I can't even believe it.
With this wonky, weird old microphone. I don't
let me
get it.
explain it to you.
He's never used it.
He's in the Han Solo shooting position
Yeah, but with the microphone.
with
But-
the microphone.
Okay.
That's what they did.
But Guido
You
shot
know why?
first,
But
right?
why do you use an old microphone?
solo shot first. Greedo, I don't even think Greedo got a shot off.
We're gonna have a Benetti Greedo bobblehead coming out next week.
I would, if there was a fucking Benetti Greedo bobblehead, I would own that bobblehead. It'd be right next to, between my Cheech and Chong bobbleheads and my Captain Spaulding from House of Horses. I have weird bobbleheads, people. There's a Jesus bobblehead next to those.
Where's Clay Davis?
Clay Davis is in there. Shit.
I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, Clay Davis is up there. We have done a video
I
with
thought
Clay
you were going
Davis.
to say, where's your Anne Berlin video? Or where's your Anne Berlin? Excuse me.
I mentioned a Jesus
Give me a long day.
bobblehead. This guy starts speaking in tongues. It's beautiful.
The Gingerlin.
It's
Didn't Gingerlin like dogged Captain Spaulding
in House of
Devil's Rejects?
In Devil's Rejects.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I just watched this documentary on adult actresses.
I'm glad that, like, out of all of the Rob Zombie movies, your takeaway was the clown porn.
Oh no, I love all the movies. Hey, side note, and not to.
I don't know if I want to hear a side
No,
note
this is a
after I
good
mentioned
side
clown
note.
porn.
This is a good side note. One of the girls that I lived with, as like totally platonic when we were in California.
Totally platonic.
Her boyfriend's brother was in all those movies, all of Rob Zombie's movies.
Yeah, Mosley, right?
Mosley,
Bill
yeah,
Mosley.
yeah, Bill Mosley, and that was awesome. And I never met him, and I never got anything from it because that his brother wasn't.
We are way off topic right now.
We
But let
are.
me just say,
Hang on, can we
let me just say,
circle back for a
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 with Bill Mosley is my favorite horror movie of all time.
Can we circle back for 1 second? Because
movies.
he's
Not talking about the bobblehead.
I don't want to talk about bobblehead. 1 second.
I
I'm
know.
going to swing back and say,
Okay.
if you want us to do a show on Gingerland, we will do one. So just let us know. Hit us up on Twitter, and we'll do a Gingerland show. Okay?
We will do a 47-minute Ginger Lynn Periscope.
We'll talk only Gingerland. If you guys are interested, we'd be willing to do it. So just let
With
us know.
Peter North?
It won't be in the hot tub with Matt Ramsey. Sorry. It won't be in the hot
Hurt feelings. I don't like it.
That's
It will not be in the hot
waste,
tub, but
man.
we will have our shirts off anyways.
Wally,
What money? Tell me about the Hawk Solo bobblehead before we go to Indiana
Now,
to drink our faces off.
let's face this.
Doesn't really I'm not doing that right
For the
now.
past
Yeah,
few
but-
years, the White Sox have been doing a Star Wars bobblehead. I'm just glad it's not Southpaw or a Stormtrooper, which had nothing to do with the White Sox. Yeah, had nothing to do with the White Sox. But all the other teams in baseball do this. Well, actually, not everyone. There's a lot of other teams.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
that do that. I mean, this is a niche. I think they're. I don't know if Disney is giving them some money to try to some advertising for them or what. I mean, the White Sox. When they do this bob, when they do the Hawk bobblehead? Is that going to be Star Wars Day too?
Yeah,
I
it's Star Wars.
thought it was Hawks Day.
It's Star
No,
Wars
no.
night.
Hawk Day, there's a whole different.
Okay.
That's
So
in
there's a
September.
Hawk Day and there's a Hawk Solo bobblehead day, but that's Star Wars night.
Hawk Day is his birthday weekend, so I'm a little
Oh,
worried.
see, I thought the bobblehead was
That's
on
like-
Hawk Day.
No, it's in like May.
See, then that would make sense if they did it.
The-
But
The Hawk Day is like right around his birthday, and it's a Sunday.
It's a September.
Which worries me.
September
Second,
yeah.
which worries me because I figure like Hawk's birthday weekend, him and Scottie Pippen will be out at the strip club until like 3-4 in the morning. And he's got to come back.
they
he'll
may
be
kick Scotty
sweating.
out. He doesn't tip them, so you can't
That's
get the
true.
free dances.
That's true.
And then,
He'll be
no tipping Pippen's
like
time to
Frank
go.
Thomas, though, on Frank Thomas Day.
Wally's got a good story about no tip and Pippin, but we'll save that for later.
Yeah, that's shit.
Next
That's
episode, yeah.
if you
we're
guys
gonna
meet us
hold
in
off on
Indiana, I'll tell you that.
That's
story.
That's behind the paywall. And by the paywall, that means pay, get in, and come sit in the 108.
But I like the fact that it's a better bobblehead, but they just did one for Sox Fest. I understand they're trying to do things for Hawk and make him feel, special since he's one of our most beloved broadcasters. Not one of my favorites, I'll admit it, but I'm glad the past couple of years he's been doing the home games since I'm at the games. I mean,
Mike Huff is your favorite, right?
I'm actually a big fan of Benetti. I mean,
Benetti's great.
I mean, the first time I heard his voice spring training 2 years ago, it did not match the look. I mean, he has got an amazing voice. He's got a great insight. He pairs well with Steve Stone. And I think we do have the best announcing team with those two in Chicago right now.
By far.
But getting back to Hawk, I do like the bobblehead. I do like the way it looks. I guess if this is the last thing they do for Hawk, so
It's
be it.
not.
Yeah, well,
There'll be something else. They're going to have a charity bobblehead, so we don't know who that is yet. They're going to definitely have that. I've heard there's a Game of Thrones bobblehead this year.
Another one?
But it's supposed to be...
But that's
supposed
Sir
to be-
Walter of House Bangbus.
It's supposed
I've got my flag waving right now.
Whoa, put that away!
Hang on.
You can't put that on camera.
It's supposedly...
This is Periscope.
It's a
Oh,
player,
it's the family show?
but it's definitely a player, and it's Game of Thrones related. And then there's supposed to be at least another 1 or 2 special bobbleheads this year. And we're supposed to get 4. I know we're at 3, so maybe that's 4. That might be it. But yeah, because there's a Santa Claus one. Too.
Right.
That's a special ticket. Which these new fees that the Sox are charging on these tickets is ridiculous.
Well, it's not necessarily.
That's another topic for another day.
That's
We'll
our
talk about
lovely
that later.
Chicago with their new entertainment tax. I'm getting it on concerts. I'm
84
getting it
cents
everywhere.
on the $7 tickets. It's an $8 ticket. There are no more $7 tickets.
You
folks.
could thank good old,
Rom.
Mayor Rom for that shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was told yesterday.
They lost their pop tax.
Yep.
Their sugar tax. So now they're gonna get their money either way.
Yeah.
This is the most political this is ever.
Hey.
Oh wait, no, it's not
to
because
go-
last week I said that George Bush threw a great first pitch and was the most athletic president I've ever seen.
And I agree 100% with you.
Obama's
You
pitch
did
was
say
better.
No.
No
You're
way.
George W. Bush? That guy throws like 80 miles an hour. He throws harder than Charlie Sheen was actually throwing in Major League.
Yes.
I find
Totally
it funny
agree.
that you
So
brought up
he
2 guys that
definitely-
did cocaine.
With
that
me.
threw
I mean,
really good George pitches. I mean, I'm just going to say it right now. Cocaine helps you throw a good pitch. Well,
So
I don't
that's
know.
probably right. No,
There's
that's-
2 of us
that's
that
definitely
probably
better
have
than my
cocaine
sock
that
summer.
don't throw.
When I well, he threw an ephus. That's a special pitch.
It is. All right.
And I may or may not have done cocaine in my life.
We're gonna end it there.
Yeah.
On the this has been the cocaine episode of whatever this is.
Now wait a second. We can't quit yet. We have to talk about the tax more.
All right,
The guy told me yesterday that Jerry has been covering the tax for Sox fans for several years, and now he doesn't want to pay it anymore. Which I was like, this is straight.
Well, he's 86 now, so he's
Yeah.
getting up in that years.
I'm like, this is straight bullshit. Like I'm that's a great line to tell people, but that's not true whatsoever.
If he's actually been covering that, though, that should get out there. Like that's fucking nice.
That's good.
Like,
Yeah, it's good
He's
PR.
been paying, but this amusement tax is new, right?
No, I don't think there's
first
been
of the year.
amusement tax for a long time.
Yes, they raised it. It
So,
got
yeah, there's
trust-
one
as
percent.
many concerts and everything.
Let's delve deeper into tax law for about an hour.
We'll discuss this in the Bang Bus on our way to North.
That's right.
The game's starting in like 10 minutes.
Yes, the last thing I want to
4
do
minutes.
before we get out of
No, it's
here
like 10 minutes.
is
Cool.
I'm calling shotgun right now in the Bang Bus. Fuck these guys. They can
We
sit
love
right
rolling
in
the
the back.
barrel. Look at
Put a
it.
All right.
barrel roll into that
Thank you,
bag.
guys.
I will too.
We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers. Peace.